Right, I'm going to ask a simple question because, there's enough people in the chat that I want to get an answer on it. It's just an honest question. It's a simple one, and it's just, do you like FSG as owners? Just a yes or a no. Because I often second guess myself when I'm on here and I'm talking about the owners and I'm speaking about my own disdain and displeasure. And sometimes I say, Craig, are you just toxic? Are you an asshole? Are you ungrateful? Am I wrong? Because I don't think I'm being unreasonable or expecting too much, but I guess sometimes you do have those seeds of doubt creep into your own thought process. They have good and bad elements. Yeah, look, again, I'll be the very first to say they are not all bad owners, and I've said this multiple times. People that see clips of our community and channel think that we're just this ranting anti-FSG everything, but they don't see that we don't really talk about them from one transfer window to the next. And a clip on social media isn't a good screenshot or snapshot of our community, because you usually see me at one of my most emotional moments. But from my own experience chatting with Liverpool fans, whether it's at our live stuff or whether it's in our chat, I think most people feel like they're not the worst owners in the world, but a lot of people feel like they're just not doing enough to push on a little bit further, or to try and have a period of dominance, rather than we get to the top and then we fall away again and we don't strengthen. So yeah, I'm interested because I often see polls from other outlets or publications that are a lot more 50-50 and stuff, and again, I appreciate everybody's viewpoints on it, but I just want to know, how our audience feels about them. Cameron, how are you, mate? Said, hey Craig, speaking about FSG, have you seen the video of FSG arguing to Boston Red Sox fans that handling baseball players' wages was so expensive and the fans booing them straight after? Must be nice to hear from them, is what I'd say firstly. It doesn't seem like anybody's answerable to the Liverpool fan base whatsoever, other than, of course, the manager, who isn't in control of a lot of this stuff and shouldn't be on the receiving end of these questions. But no, I didn't see it. I've heard bits and pieces about it, but as I've said, I don't understand Major League Baseball, so I'm not the person to give you a view on that. Stephen Dunn said, the work on the Anfield and training facilities they have to be given huge credit for, but one word kills me, it's Super League. So I agree that they deserve to be given credit for it, but also not as much as some people give them, and let me explain why. So look, am I happy that Anfield has been improved? Of course I am. Am I happy that the area around Anfield has been improved? Yes. Training ground, yes. But let's not forget one thing. It was a good thing, but it benefits them as well. They didn't just do it because they wanted more Liverpool fans to get to go to the game. They did it to raise the value of their asset and to, make more money from ticket sales and hospitality and corporate ticket sales. So it was no white knight perfect decision that, they just came out with. And if you weighed that up against the cost of maybe moving out of Anfield, you can see that it was a very favourable decision financially for them. Doesn't mean it wasn't the right decision, by the way. I think the majority of Liverpool fans will feel that staying at Anfield was the right thing to do. They did the same thing in Boston as well. So, I do give them credit for that stuff, but it's basic bitch stuff. It's like, again, it's like you building an extension on your house and then, going outside and wanting everybody in the state to throw flowers at you and tell you how great you are for increasing the value of the thing that you're going to see the benefit of. Is said, as discussed in the chat, FSG are for a mid-table team looking to progress, like getting into lower league comps, not a team looking to be the best in the world. For me, as our friend pointed out a second ago, Stephen, the Super League thing was my personal line in the sand with them. I couldn't come back from that. I couldn't. And not as somebody who fell in love with the club because of the tradition of seeing us winning European Cups and captains that came before, and the history and traditions of football at Anfield and what the European Cup has meant to Liverpool. To be woke up one day and see that, oh well, we're in this competition now and that's it, deal with it. That is a level of betrayal that I'll never get over. Never. Like, you can't do much about it now. It's been and gone. You move on. You have to kind of move ahead with things. But I'll never forget about it because they didn't give a shit. Like, absolutely stuck the knife in all of our back. The players didn't know. The managers didn't know. The season ticket holders didn't know. Nobody knew. And they did it to benefit themselves because they wanted more money in a closed shop. And they didn't care about the history, the traditions, or the love affair with the European Cup. It was absolutely disgusting. As was that bullshit apology video that John W. Henry was wheeled out to make. Like I've broken down on many times. Horseshit. PR 101. Bullshit. Camera above his head. Yellow flowers for calming effect on the table. Raised camera position. Just absolute nonsense. What he meant to say was, I'm sorry we didn't get away with it. Because if he was so concerned about how fans felt about it, why didn't you engage with fans, season ticket holders, members around the world? Why didn't you maybe just take the temperature and see how people would have felt about it? I'll tell you why. Because he didn't care how people felt about it. The only thing he cared about was the bad publicity that came along when football came together in those glorious 72 or so hours and stuck two fingers up to people that thought they knew what was best for us in the game and showed them where the game belongs and who it belongs to. So, yeah, Stephen, the Super League is absolutely fucking despicable. The detective said the perceived high wage bill comes from seasons ago when we had the likes of Milner, Ox, Keita, Thiago and others on high wages. They aren't here anymore and in some instances haven't been replaced. I agree on the haven't been replaced. And like I said, mate, I think most of us would understand if those saved wages were put into the contracts for Virgil, for Trent and for Mo. But again, nothing there. You know, here's my take, right? I think that the Kvaratskhelia stuff was out there as a reminder to Mo that we have options. So maybe, you know, sign the contract on the terms we're offering you, or you don't get to break these records and you won't get to stay at Liverpool and we aren't going to be held over a barrel. You know, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but it's possible. And I'm not even saying it's right or wrong, because in any negotiation you want the leverage in that negotiation. So, you know, that was my thought process on it when I first seen the story. You know, excited and you hope, oh, that'll be cool. Maybe this will happen and maybe that might happen and this player might go there or whatever. But, you know, ultimately it could be used to try and break a log jam in the negotiations. Mark Harding said, don't be fooled by training ground and ground expansion. It's paid with loans backed by the club, revenue while raising the value of the club. Oh, I know, mate. That's what I said. You know, it's paid for by increased ticket prices, increased footfall through the ground, increased sales on a match day. I'm well aware of all of this, mate. But it doesn't mean it isn't a mutually beneficial thing. You know, having more Reds inside Anfield is a good thing, whichever way you dress it up. It's not an altruistic thing that they've done. You know, it was a decision that benefits everybody, and that's all right. That's cool as well. One more to go. There we go. We've had the 1,000 votes, and after the 1,000 votes, 78% of people, it was 78, they always take 1% off, said they aren't happy with them as owners, and 22% said that they are. And again, to those that say that they are, I can understand some of your thought processes about what they've improved at the club, and I have genuinely credited them for that stuff over the years as well. But it's the lack of pushing on for me, and the lack of strengthening from a position of strength in the transfer market, as well as the Super League stuff, that I just don't think they have the stomach for it.